Well, Election Day is exactly 4 weeks from today. Voters getting ready to cast their ballots to pick the next mayor of New York City.
With Mayor Adams no longer looking to get reelected, the race is heating up. Joining us right now, independent candidate for New York City Mayor, former Governor Andrew Cuomo. Nice to have you back on Good Day, New York.
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you. My pleasure.
So yesterday, Mamdani made a big deal of his plan, $7 billion he thinks it's going to cost. He thinks it can come from taxes in Albany. You were the big cheese up in Albany. Is this possible?
Is cheese a good thing? No. Short answer is it's not possible. And you're right. His whole plan is contingent on the state raising taxes on corporations all throughout the state, but giving the money to New York City. That would never happen. It would never happen. And you're right. I was there for 11 years. It's a non-starter. So this is all hype. It's all plans based on a funding stream that is never going to happen.
Well, he seems to have two different opinions on things. Like, for example, with the city schools, public education, he talked about getting rid of the gifted and talented program, but then kind of scaled it back to just those entering kindergarten. And then he kind of says that he's not on the same page as the Democratic Socialists. Is that possible?
No. He is on the same page. Oh, Democratic Socialists, just so people understand. There's a group called the Democratic Socialists of America, DSA. He's a member of that group. They are not Democrats. And then you have Democrats. I am a Democrat. My father was a Democrat. Democratic Socialists of America are not Democrats. So, for example, Mamdani did not support Vice President Harris against Trump, called Barack Obama evil and a liar, all right? They're more radical, more extreme, and they are literally for defunding the police down to zero. And they have...
He's evolved from that. He's saying that he's evolved from that.
Well, he's playing two different games because he's pledged allegiance to the DSA, and they have one set of values, which is literally defund the police to zero, close jails, close prisons, legalize prostitution. That's their platform, Rosanna. And he has to make them happy, but you can't say that to New Yorkers, so he flip-flops back and forth.
Okay, so we've got limited time with you, and you understand that, because we have to keep all candidates to the same amount of time. You talk in theory about Mamdani, but you've got a record that I would like to talk about and have you answer some questions. So in 2019, you pushed forward what is known as cashless bail. You look at it 5 years down the road, are you pleased with the results of it?
The 2019 bill I passed is totally different than the bill that is in effect
It's been
today.
tweaked since then, as all laws get every couple of years, but it's still the same premise.
Well, yeah, but let's just, the tweaking is everything, because every law gets tweaked every year. Medicaid gets tweaked, education gets tweaked, everything gets changed. So what I passed has been changed 4 or 5 times since then. But cashless bail, many other states did it. The principle is very sound. If you have not been found guilty of anything, you shouldn't be put in prison. And you shouldn't be sent to Rikers just because you don't have the money to make bail. That was the principle. I think it was in total compliance with the Constitution. The exception was if the judge believed you created harm, and if you were released, there would be harm. And that's where judges had different interpretations and lawyers had different interpretations, and that's where they've been changing the law.
Is today's version okay?
Yeah, today's version, which I believe we had on day one, but today's version is if a judge believes you are dangerous, then he can hold you at Rikers Island.
Okay, so let's talk about congestion pricing since it affects so many New Yorkers. You were in favor of it. Now you say you're against it. Explain the difference there.
I was in favor. Congestion pricing, we tried to get passed for 20 years. Mike Bloomberg tried to get it passed when he was mayor. We couldn't get it passed. I got it passed. The concept is the right concept and a sound concept. you do need to limit traffic coming in, and you do need to fund mass transit. So I support it. I passed it. What I said when they went to implement it now, I said, I don't know that this is the best time to implement it because people still aren't coming back to the city. We're still not at full occupancy, and we don't want to create an obstacle to encourage them to stay home, right? We're trying to get people out of their homes, off the Zoom, come to the office, and now we say, by the way, we're going to raise tolls. And my query was, is this the best time to implement it? But they did implement it. It's in place. So it is what it is now.
Can we talk a little bit about the polls? Because they've been challenging to you. Does Curtis Sliwa need to drop out? You know, he just dropped a whole bunch of new commercials attacking your record on crime and, you know, cashless bail, raise the age. Does Curtis Sliwa need to drop out for you to win?
He doesn't need to drop out. But I think what has to happen, Rosanna, is people have to look at this position seriously. You're talking about mayor of New York City, right? You need basic experience and qualifications to do this job. This is not a job where you can do on-the-job training. Mamdani is a two-term assemblyman, passed 3 bills, never managed any, managed 5 people. Now you're going to manage 300,000 people? Curtis Sliwa, National Guardian Angels. What has he done to manage New York City? And remember, when you're mayor of New York City, any given morning, God forbid, you could have another terrorist attack, another mass murder, another COVID. And you need to know what you're doing because it is a matter of life and death. And when people understand that and remember that, that's what this job is. Your life depends on this job. And that's not rhetoric. I've been in that seat. I know what happens and how fast it happens. I think when they bring that frame, when the choice becomes real, safety of your family is at stake. You want someone with experience and credibility, and that's not going to be Curtis, and it's not going to be Mamdani.
So yesterday, the New York Post did a big story on Mr. Mamdani taking a picture with this woman in Uganda that he says he didn't know, but she has a terrible record on how they treat gays in Uganda. You made a big deal out of it. Does that have anything to do with the race in New York City?
Well, it's the pattern, right? It's what you were referring to before. Mamdani says this, and then he says that. There's a duality to him. He's in New York City. He plays, I'm a poor boy from New York City. I need a rent-stabilized apartment. But in truth, he's the son of millionaires. His family has homes all over the world. He lives in a mansion in Uganda with 20 armed guards and has a totally different set of politics, and his father has a totally different set of politics there. And he posed with a very high-profile figure who is the person who put forth the legislation that proposed killing people who were LGBTQ, outlawing anyone from LGBTQ.
He says he didn't know who she was.
Let me stop you here because we're running out of time.
That would be like me saying, I don't know who Hillary Clinton is.
Okay, you know what you're doing, though.
There.
We're running out of time here. So you spent a lot of this time talking about Mamdani and very little time talking about you. And I think that has been one of the criticisms. We've had politicians on that are supporters of yours. And they go, he has not made the argument as to why he should be mayor and not other than I'm not Mamdani. So will you take this last bit here and explain to people why you should be the guy?
Please.
Not necessarily I'm not Mamdani.
Got it. First priority, jobs, jobs, jobs. We're losing jobs. We're losing the economy. We're losing people. We have to focus on getting those jobs back into New York and growing. Second, what I call cop on the block, cop on the train. I want to add 5,000 police officers, make New York City safe, take us back to full force, which is where we were after Mayor Dinkins and Mayor Giuliani. And that's about 5,000 police officers. And then build, baby, build. You want to bring down the cost of affordable housing? There's one way. Forget the gimmicks. I was the housing secretary for the nation. You have to build more affordable housing and build it fast, which we can, like LaGuardia Airport, like Kennedy Airport, like Kosciuszko Bridge, but you have to build housing quickly. Those would be the top 3 priorities.
Thank you so much for coming in and for pronouncing Kosciuszko, because we screw that up every single time.
It's supposed to be Kosciuszko.
That's right. I pronounced it wrong just because all New Yorkers do.
That's what I always screw up
We can't
saying
figure it out
Kosciuszko.
exactly. All right. Well,
anyway.
Election Day, 4 weeks from today. Early voting starts in 18 days. Thank you for stopping by.
Thanks for having me.
All right.